Prabhu, is my screen visible?
Yes, Prabhu. Clear.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, all the devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me the opportunity today to speak about Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 1, Canto 1, Chapter 19, Shloka number 26. So before we proceed, I will start with Shri Guru Pranam and Mangalacharans. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshur-unmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Mukham karoti vachalam Pangum langayate girim Yat kripatam aham vande Shri Gurum dinataranam Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruhu Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Cha नमा ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवे प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी. Thank you very much, all the devotees. As you all know, we are reading about Canto 1, Chapter 19, which is the last chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And we have been relishing Srimad Bhagavatam from Canto 1. I will just touch upon what all we have covered. This picture I have taken from a book, Bhagavad Shubodhini by Shri Gauranga Das Prabhu. As you can see from chapter 1, from shloka 1 to 7, Parikshit Maharaj regrets uh, and gratefully accepts the curse which was given to him by Shringi, and he renounces everything. From shloka 8 to 24, we see Parikshit Maharaj submits himself to all the sages who have assembled. And now we will see Sukadev Goswami appears in the assembly. So these are the top two questions Maharaj Parikshit had. What is the duty of everyone in all circumstances? And what is the specific duty of the one who is to die very shortly? He's talking about himself. As you can see in this image, great devotees and Maharaj Acharyas assembled to bless Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj was not any normal personality. He belonged to a very great lineage. He was great great grandson of Arjuna. As you know, he asked these top two questions to all the sages who appeared to preach him during his final days. The whole Srimad Bhagavatam, from beginning of the second canto up to the 12th canto, it deals with these two questions which Parikshit Maharaj had. Out of the two questions, the one relating to dying person is the most important because we all are dying every day. Every day, millions of cells of our body are dying and forming newly. We have seen ourselves grown from being at a very young age. Generally, from the age of 5, I have some memory of myself. I'm the same person. Now I am approximately 40. It's the same person who is just growing. So we are the same soul in the same body, but the body is continuously transforming. It's dying every day. This is something we have to keep in our mind always, that we are dying and should get answer to this question: what should we be doing when we are dying every day? So this was the main two questions which Parikshit Maharaj had to all the assembled devotees, to all the Maharaj in near the river Ganges. Unable to come to common agreement on the best process on how to utilize these last days, like sacrifice, yoga, austerity, charity, the sages desired the appearances of Sri Shukadev Goswami in their minds and glanced at the path. And soon they saw Shukadev Goswami was arriving. As you can see in this image, Srila Shukadev Goswami arrives, and you can see all the sages nearby. I want to draw your attention to the first image. You can see Shukadev Goswami seated on the Vyas Asana. We have Narad Maharshi here also. And in one of the image, I want to draw your attention that there is Lord Parshuram also here. Vyasdev is also here. Just keep this in mind that great, great sages were there in the assembly. So before we continue, let's start by reciting the shloka. तं द्वश्यता वर्षं सुकुमारपादा करोरुभावं शाकपोलगात्रं चर्व अयत्ताक्षो नासतुल्यकारणा शुभ्रव आननं कम्बुसुजातकण्ठम् त्वं द्वष्टा वर्षं सुकुमारपादा करोरुबाहं सकपोलगात्रम् चार्वयाताश्नुत्सुतुलुकन्यकर्ण शुभ्रवानानं कम्बुसुजातकण्ठम् tam, him. Dvi astha. So Sanskrit is a very interesting language. Dvi astha means twice 8, which is 16. Varsham, years. Sukumara, delegate. Pada, legs. Kara, hands. Uru, thighs. Bahu, arms. Amsha, shoulders. Kapola, forehead. Gatram, body. Charu, beautiful. Ayata, broad. Aksha, eyes. Unnasa, high nose. Tulya, similar. Karna, ears. Shubhru, nice brows. Ananam, face. Kambu, conch shell. Sujata, nicely built. Kantham, neck. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This son of Vyasdev was only 16 years old. His legs, hands, thighs, arms, shoulders, foreheads, and the other part of his body were all delicately formed. His eyes were beautifully wide, and his nose and ears were highly raised. He had a very attractive face, and his neck was well formed and beautiful like a conch shell. I want to keep this part of the class little interactive. I will pose some queries. Do you agree with this statement that this son of Vyasdev was only 16 years old? Anybody can unmute and share their opinion.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Dandavad Pranam, Prabhu.
Can I translate in Telugu?
Yeah, Prabhu, you can say in Telugu.
ఓకే ప్రభుజీ. ఇది మీరు చెప్పినట్టు శ్లోకంలో ఏం చెప్పారంటే, ఇంత గట్టిగా ఉండాలని చెప్పాలంటే మేమనుకుంటాము ఏదో ఘటవస్తులాగా బాడీ చూస్తే ఇంత లావుగా ఉన్నారు, ఇంత బరువుగా ఉన్నారని మేము ఇమాజిన్ చేసుకుంటాము. కానీ ఇక్కడ చెప్తున్నారు ఓన్లీ 16 ఇయర్స్ బాయ్. సో మేమనుకుంటాము ఏదో పెద్దగా ఉంది అనుకున్న వల్ల, సో ఇంత ఏజ్‌లో వాళ్ళు అంతా ఉన్నారంటే వాళ్ళు సాధించింది చాలా ఉంది. చాలా తెలుసుకోవాలి అనేది ప్రభుజీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Uh,
You want us to tell whether he's, agree or not in the WhatsApp. We have to just write in the chat, Prabhu, right?
Yes, Prabhu. Someone can also speak up, Prabhu, if they're interested. I wanted to keep little interactive.
Okay.
Okay. So, Prabhu, thank you, Praveen Prabhu, for sharing your thoughts. So, we have to interpret this message in slightly different way. I was hearing lectures of senior devotees, His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj and other senior devotees around this particular shloka. So Maharaj were mentioning that we have to interpret this in a different way. He appeared to be of age 16, but we know Shukadev Goswami was in the womb of his mother for 16 years. Just after taking birth, he went to the forest and he was roaming around in the forest because he was not at all interested in materialistic life, and he was in the forest for many years. So, as all the sages we saw were in the previous shlokas, were thinking what could be the answer, and they were in their mind were thinking about Shukadev Goswami, and then Shukadev Goswami appeared. So, we have to understand a very important topic here, which Srila Prabhupada explains in his purport. I will talk about it. A respectable personality is described beginning with the legs, and this honored system is observed here with Shukadev Goswami. He was only 16 years of age. A person is honored for his achievement and not for advanced age. A person can be older by experience and not by age. Sri Shukadev Goswami, who is described herein as son of Vyasdeva, was by his knowledge more experienced than all the sages present there, although he was only 16 years old. So, as we see, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here, a respectable personality is described by beginning with the legs, and that has been the culture of the Vedic system. And Srila Prabhupada has mentioned this in various other lectures, and also when we go to temples, all the senior devotees have taught us that when we see the Archa Vigraha of the Lordship, we start by looking at the lotus feet of the Lord. And that has been the Vedic culture. Anyone who is very experienced and a respectable personality in the Vedic system, they are always described by beginning with the legs. As we can see in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, 4th chapter and 18th sloka, Ambrish Maharaj is talking about the Lordship. Savai Manaha Krishna Padaravindayor Padaravindayor Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanuvarnane. So Ambrish Maharaj, as we can see, is talking about the Lord by first referencing his lotus feet. And then he says, I will use my body parts, my voice, Vachamsi, to talk about Vaikuntha, and Gunanuvarnane. He wants to speak about the gunas of Sri Krishna. Here we can see Ambrish Maharaj and Lord Krishna in this image. Also, Kunti Maharani, in her prayers, there is a slight change here. She is not describing the feet first. She is saying, Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankaja Maline, Nama Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankaja Jangrahe. So we can ask this question, why is Kunti Maharani not speaking about the feet of the Lordship first? She is referring Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, so the Nabhi from the stomach. Then Nama Pankaja Maline, the flowers, the garlands on your neck. Nama Pankaja Netraya, your beautiful eye. And then she speaks about Pankaja Jangrahe. Then she speaks about the lotus feet and the leg and the thighs. We can ask this question, why is Kunti Maharani not following the injuncture, the Shastric injunction on referencing the Lordship? As we also know, Kunti Maharani was aunt of Sri Krishna, and Krishna would have felt embarrassed if she would have directly referenced his lotus feet. That's why Kunti Maharani first starts with the stomach of Sri Krishna, and that's how she speaks about Lord Sri Krishna. I want to draw your attention to the translation. It is so nicely mentioned by Srila Prabhupada. His legs, thighs, arms, shoulder, forehead, other parts of the body were delicately formed. His eyes were beautifully wide, and nose and ears were highly raised. So, all the great personalities have a very prominent description of various parts of their body. This we have also heard about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similar description we heard about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in various other classes and lectures. For such personalities, the very common thing we have heard is their shoulders, their hands touch up to their knees. We can also all try. I'm sure definitely it will not reach our knees, not mine at least. We have to, you can also check after the class. You have to be straight, not bending forward. We will see that our hands doesn't reach our knees, but for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it used to reach to his knees. And similarly for Shukadev Goswami also, his hands used to touch his knees. I want to show uh, image of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So as you can see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eyes. So this is a photo from Mayapur ISKCON temple. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eyes, you can see, is like lotus petal. Our Mahaprabhu in temple, you can see the eyes are so beautiful. They're like lotus petal. Generally, and please pardon me, males don't have such beautiful broad eyes like lotus petal. Prabhuji's definitely we don't see such big eyes. Mataji's also do not have such beautiful eyes generally. But as we see nowadays, people put so much cosmetics just to give us that appearance that the eyes are so broad. But generally, we humans don't have such beautiful eyes. So, as per the Shastric reference, there is a Shastra called are you guys aware of the Shastra called Samudrik Shastra? There is a Samudrik Shastra which refers to the bodily parts of great personalities by which we can determine the future, how will be the life of an individual. In the Samudrik Shastra, and it is mentioned there are 32 unique characteristics of different parts of the body, like eyes, nose, mouth, the height, the broadness of the shoulder, the chest, the ears. So with that, we can determine where how a person will be going to be in his or her life. Being 16 years is not just an example here for Srila Shukadev Goswami. We can also see the same thing also happened for four Kumaras. These four Kumaras, why didn't they grow? There is something wrong, maybe. Actually, there is nothing wrong. They didn't want to get into this materialistic propensity and they want to remain a kid of 5 years old. And we should take them very seriously. They are the great Acharya of the Kumar Sampradaya. So there is a sampradaya. We have to hear the shastric knowledge from sampradaya. So Kumar Sampradaya is one of the sampradaya. There is Rudra Sampradaya. There is Shri Sampradaya. There is Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya from where ISKCON belongs to. So Kumar Sampradaya is also one of the sampradayas. So four Kumaras also didn't grow more than 5 years of age. We all have read Bhagavad Gita. Even if suppose we have not read, if we take a look at the first cover of Bhagavad Gita, we see Krishna is so young. He is looking so young, 16 years old. Whereas Arjuna, you can see mustache. Krishna didn't had any mustache. So Krishna, even though during the war his age was 125 years, he has his great great grandson also participating in the war, but Krishna was still looking like 16 years old. So all the great personality, they don't grow old. Their bodies are not formed by the bone and flesh. They are formed of Chinmay Sharir or spiritual body. So that is the message we should carry forward. I spoke about Mahaprabhu. Similarly, Mahaprabhu was also very, very beautiful. Please visit our temple. Our Mahaprabhu is so beautiful. There is a reference of the neck as we saw in the translation. I'll just again draw the attention there. He has a beautiful neck, well formed, like a conch shell. So, conch shell has three layers like this. As you can see, one, two, three. The necks are so beautiful, it is compared to the conch shell. And in Damodar Astakam also, we read about Damodar. Tirekhanka Kantha रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्र युग्मं मृजन्तं करं भोजयुग्मेन शटङ्खनेत्रं मूष्वाशकम्पतिरेखाङ्ककण्ठा तीर्थग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम. So this Tireranka, all these beautiful personalities, Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shukadev Goswami, their necks are also very beautiful. So one question pops in my mind. We don't have a lot of time. We can all ask, there were such great personalities, sages in the assembly. I just showed the image a while back. There is Lord Parshuram, there is Vyasdev, who was the creator of Srimad Bhagavatam. We have Shukadev Goswami. All of them were present. But why did Lord made see Shukadev Goswami speak about Srimad Bhagavatam? Anybody wants to take a stab on this question?
Say it once again, Prabhu.
Prabhu, in the assembly, there were a lot of great sages. Who's and who of all the great acharyas were present in the assembly. We had Lord Parshuram, we had Vyasadev, we had Narad Muni. They also could have spoken about Srimad Bhagavatam. But why did Shukadev Goswami speak about Srimad Bhagavatam in the assembly? He was, in the age, he was 16 years old. There were other very senior devotees. But why did Shukadev Goswami spoke about Srimad Bhagavatam, and why did Lord made him speak? Anybody wants to take a stab on this question? So we see, I have some pictures of Lord Parshuram. See, we have Narad Maharshi talking to Vyasdev. Okay.
Because we heard it from Vyasdev.
So Vyasdev could have spoken, Prabhu, but
Okay.
Vyasdev didn't speak.
Go
It
ahead,
was a
Prabhu.
pure Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna
Uh,
Mataji.
Shukadeva Goswami was with Radharani, assisting her in all the leelas.
Thank you, Mataji, for your answer. Yeah, that is one of the reasons. So I'll try to share what I heard from Radha Govind Maharaj's lecture. So Maharaj was mentioning Parshuram is Lord himself. He appeared to this in this world to protect the Brahmanas, and he killed Kshatriyas 21 times in this Bhumi. And he is not the right personality to talk about bhakti of the Lordship. Then we can ask, why not Narad Maharshi? So we will also hear in the subsequent cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam as we continue to read, Narad Maharshi, as you know, always chants about Lord Narayana. But we will see he also praises personalities like Hiranyakashipu. Vyasdev, even though he has written Srimad Bhagavatam, as we know, he appeared in this universe for the benefit of the mankind, people like us, and he wrote so many scriptures. He wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, he wrote Puranas, he also wrote Mahabharata. The question comes, why did he then write Mahabharata and other literatures? But Srila Shukadev Goswami, he didn't in his whole life speak anything other than the qualities about the qualities of Lord Shri Krishna. You will see he always and every time he speaks about the Lord. That is the quality Srila Shukadev Goswami had. That's why even such great personality who were there in the assembly were just speaking about, allowed Srila Shukadev Goswami, and they respected and gave Vyasasan to Srila Shukadev Goswami because he was the right personality to talk about the Lord and to answer those questions which Parikshit Maharaj had. Without further ado, I want to talk about an interesting story because we have this question still in our mind. Why such young people at the age of 16 or of age 16 or Kumaras who were just 5 years old throughout their life are given this opportunity to speak about such Shastra in presence of such senior sages. So there is an interesting katha of Yamunacharya. He was the Acharya in the Sri Sampadai, and there used to be somebody called Vidwan Kolahal. Vidwan Kolahal was in a great scholar in the court of Pandya king. The, the Vidwan Kolahal always used to challenge scholars in debate. And if these scholars used to get defeated by Vidwan Kolahal, the Pandya king used to make the other scholars pay him yearly tax. And Yamunacharya's guru, Bhashyacharya, also known as Rama Mishra, also fall into such situation, and he was supposed to give taxes every year to Pandya king. And once Vidwan Kolahal's uh, Shishyas came to Bhashyacharya's ashram, and they started chastising people around them, and they were very arrogant that our Guru Vidwan Kolahal is so knowledgeable that no one can defeat him, and they used to come and collect taxes. That time Yamunacharya was only 12 to 15 years old. He boldly declared that I will defeat your Guru Vidwan Kolahal. And then Vidwan Kolahal thought, you are just a 15 years old and you are going to challenge me. Then Yamunacharya says, in such a small age, there are also bulls in the field, bigger than size of both and you and me. That doesn't mean that they are more knowledgeable than us. So in the court of Pandya king, uh, Vidwan Kolhal asked question to Yamunacharya. He gave answer just like that. Very easily he gave the answer. But now the chance comes to Yamunacharya. Yamunacharya asked three questions to Vidwan Kolahal. These were the three questions. And he asked Vidwan Kolahal that you have to refute these three questions answer by your logic. So his questions were, Kolahal's mother was not barren. Disprove this. The Pandya king was supremely righteous and powerful ruler. Refute this statement. The queen was as chaste as Savitri. So these were some of the questions posed by Yamunacharya, which put Vidwan Kolhal into very difficult situation, because such questions are not very easy to argue with when you have the king in front of you, because you can always displease the king by trying to refute some of this statement. And Yamunacharya was victorious in those arguments, and Yamunacharya got 50% of the kingdom of the Pandya king, and that's the brilliance of Yamunacharya. So one of the key message we have to learn from this sloka is, we all think that we will progress as the time passes by and our materialistic propensity will go away and we will progress in the bhakti. This is not going to happen. And that's the message of all the senior devotees, all the acharyas. Age is nothing in bhakti. Uh, Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower, not by the time which has passed by or by the age. We have to eagerly put our efforts and spend time in bhakti so that our materialistic propensity goes away and we can devote our time in the bhakti of the Lordship and the opportunity we have been provided by Srila Prabhupada and all the senior devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji, for your for lending your ears and giving me the opportunity to speak about Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mayur Prabhu, for your wonderful replies. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.